Boy, I'm excited about this one here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, Sportswire Radio, because something is coming up that I feel like has been not in my life recently, and it's going to finally come back, and I'm excited about that because, well, you might want to say there's some unfinished business due to
Oh
that,
yeah.
and our guest is going to talk about that because, boy, he's got some unfinished business with, well, let's just say a man that's holding a championship that he wants. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about also maybe what's next for Ego because now we know right off the bat, could Ego finally have that world championship, and especially what the Warhound has eluded him in his illustrious career? I'll
Yes,
talk about
sir.
that. Maybe I'll even throw in there this Chase Wakefield wedding invitational, and everyone seems to talk about it. I might as well ask our guest about that one. We'll talk about maybe some goals for 2025 and just what's next for a man that had a banger of a 2024, figuratively and literally. You saw him in places like EBW Pro, GTS, by the way. Oh, Rad Dad's still talking about Austin James. He's still talking about how much he enjoyed him in GTS. And I
Oh,
know DBW is one of those places that it has been his home, which is why you can see that name that he has. And boy, am I going to include that in this introduction, this one here, which I can't wait to start the weekend. In fact, I was so excited tonight about this episode that I made sure to get myself home, and I thought I wouldn't make it. And my guest here was like, "Oh, we're gonna make it. We're gonna do it." I'm like, "No, no, no, no. Trust me. Don't worry about it." And I had it all figured out and all planned. And yeah, we're here, and I'm actually here early. But since he's waiting for it, you're waiting for it. I'm gonna give him now that introduction. Because after all, this man beast, this war machine, Rhino apparently liked it. And our guest does know Nunzio. And after all, Nunzio shared a locker room with Rhino quite a bit. This guy, Savio
yes.
Vega, seemed to like the introduction. And this guy, King's X frontman and bassist Doug Pinnock, who only played at Woodstock and is opening for the band Tool on Friday, seems to like it also. So I'm going to give our guest now that introduction and start the show off here in style and the week on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all wrestling matters. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show. A man that is one of the cornerstones of DBW and a part of one of the greatest factions in underground wrestling history. A man
Yes,
that has
sir.
graced the screen of one of the greatest wrestling companies of all time in GTS and been a star and a cornerstone of companies such as EBW and EBW Pro and, of course, DBW. His name is simply put the Prince of DBW.
Yes.
Austin James. you doing?
Tom, I'm doing great, and that introduction gets better every time you do it.
I feel
I'll tell
more.
you
You know
that.
what? I said this last. I was on the air with the guy, the Alpha Zoe, who wrestled Alex Shelley right before he went to WWE and was on AEW Collision 5 months ago. And I feel more pressure every show now to do
Yeah,
it because Rhino's been here, Savio Vega's been here, Doug Pinnick's been here. So it's almost
yeah,
like if I don't do
yeah.
it right, people are gonna remember that. I mean, so yeah, I'm working on it.
I call some of your recent interviews, and Tom, they're amazing.
I got one,
I tell you that.
one of them, believe it or not, with King's X on Facebook, Doug Pinnick, hit over 12,000 views. 12,000.
Ooh,
Hit
wow.
12,000. So, we're, I have some big ones coming up, but I got the big one here right now for you because I have been excited to talk DBW for a while. And I'm glad. I know we were supposed to do this at least one or two times. I think now is the right time because we saw Mr. Judgment kind of kick things off for the
Things off,
DBW
yeah.
season. Obviously, we'll put the DBW link on YouTube. We'll talk about some of those things because I'm excited now that I can see the DBW season right around the corner. It's the first time here in Sportswire. I'm talking DBW in almost about 2 months, and I want to kick things off for you. For those that are listening and watching in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform you, Austin James, Ego, and DBW most certainly helped build their Sportswire radio. We have some unfinished business, and I think you have unfinished business with a guy that calls himself Silas Walker.
Yeah, Silas Walker. Somebody I came on this radio show not that long ago and
Yep,
gave credit to,
you did.
but he came on this show bashing me, saying I'm just a tag team wrestler. Does he not realize what I have done throughout my whole entire career? I've done more in DBW in 2 years than he done in 10. I set records in DBW, and I'm going on to set another record, and that's going to be the best global champion in history.
Hmm. Obviously, Silas Walker has had a new attitude over the past several months. And that attitude has led him to, I would say, to be the measuring stick of DBW. I look at the global
Yeah,
championship. It's the workhorse championship, right? And there's no question that he has had a lot of success recently. But your career in DBW, if I were to compare it to his, I mean, you're going to have the advantage. But right now, Silas Walker, he feels confident, and he feels confident in one by one, he's been knocking him down. Big
and
Tex is now a heartless sheriff. I mean, Nikki Chooch came in and left. And I mean, certainly we saw what happened with Chase Wakefield. I'm going to definitely get
Wakefield,
to him. He's always a topic. And,
he
one by
beat Jacob
one,
Cassidy,
like
one by one.
Cassidy, one by one. I
Like I
mean,
said, I gave him credit, but now it's unfinished business because I'm gonna show him why I'm not who he say I am.
so this one feels like, in a way, that it's more than just a championship. You almost feel disrespected. Is that a fair statement? You feel
Yes,
disrespected by
I
Silas?
feel highly disrespected because I took people to their limits like Mr. Judgment and people like them.
Hey,
I
how
I
about Ace
hell,
Christian? What
I'm a
happened there? I
I'm
mean, boy, we'll
yeah.
talk about him.
It took Ace Christian to hit me in the, you know what, for him to win.
Yep.
But
Yep.
and if you want to get technical, if you go over to EBW, I'm a Triple Crown champion. You know what you gotta do to be a Triple Crown champion? You
You
gotta win
gotta
two
win.
single titles and a tag champion. Like
And
I'm
we
just
know, and listen, we know your run with the tag team championships 2 years ago. We know what you've done in this company. I said it in my introduction. You're one of the cornerstones of this company and this company's history. But Silas, right now, I mean, he's looking to make history in his own right. But I want to ask you something and tell me your thoughts because I know you obviously don't have any time for this, but you'll still, I'm sure, have a thought. Silas has had issues with the last. Yeah, I know, funny time. Silas has had his issues with Stephen Gaynor. Stephen Gaynor, obviously, in management and the general
yeah.
manager of DBW, and guys have gotten title shots that I don't know if they warranted that. What's your opinion on the whole situation between Silas Walker and Stephen Gaynor? Does it concern you at all, or I mean, what's your opinions on
Yeah.
that?
my I don't see why he has a problem with Gainer. Like Gainer's doing what's best for DBW. So if he don't see something he don't like, Gunner's going to do something about it. Gunner's a stand-up man, and he came to me and said, "Hey, can you take care of a problem?" I was like, "Sure, I can take care of that problem." Because no matter what problem there is, you can always send Austin James up the bat, and he's gonna knock it out the park.
All right. I mean, I'm going to certainly put up the footage to remind you about what happened at Merry Mayhem, where you and Silas, let's just say, had a little bit of a meeting. But I got to ask you before I go into that. I mean, what about you and corrupted Van Hansen? What was going on there? In those
Okay,
tag team championship matches? I got to ask you about that. I know ego, and
so
I guess we're kind of glancing over that in a way. Mr.
uh,
Judgment's podcast.
yeah,
Shout
I
out
can
to him.
explain all that because
Yeah,
like
explain it for him.
I was in the back of Mary Mayhem, going through the sheets, seeing what I gotta do, getting ready. Next thing you know, I, I'm I don't know where I'm at. It was like
Right.
pitch black. And something happened to me, and like I don't know what he did to me, but it just made me switch.
Well, it was gold. I mean, tag team championships. I mean, and you guys defended them against the Brooklyn Prodigies. I mean, boy, I mean,
Yeah,
things
we
could
did.
things got screwy there, to quote their music.
Yeah, but afterwards, you seen that I not. It was like a trance he put me in.
Yeah.
As soon as I came back to reality and realized what I done, Van Hansen called it. Because there would be no way in hell that a guy like me would ever team with Van Hansen or
Well,
Murder
that's why I
City.
was. Listen, Van was here not too long ago, and I was kind of wondering, because I think you came here last was before Merry Mayhem had come out, so I'm pretty sure when you
Yeah,
came here last, it was after Merry Mayhem. I've had Silas here after Merry Mayhem, so I know what he had to say about you and him. But just going back for a minute, talking about that whole situation, it was definitely um I'm trying to put the right word and phrase it the
yeah,
best way. Rather interesting. Let's just put it that way. It was interesting you and Hanson as a team
yeah.
because you really didn't have much history together.
Nah, we really didn't.
No.
But you can see we was working good.
Yeah, I mean
So there was
the match
something
was
there.
good. It's just the outcome didn't go in your favor. The match didn't go in your favor. I
I'm
mean,
I'm honestly glad it didn't,
Oh
because
well, you want gold.
I
You're
would
a
have been
city.
stuck with Van Hansen, and that's not who I am. I'm hashtag ego for life,
Yes, I think that when I look back at DBW, right,
and
and
I'm
when
glad that I got snapped out that trance because that's
Well,
not
I
who I
mean,
am.
well, I don't know if I'd have you here. Maybe you wouldn't be here on Sportswire. But when we do think about DBW, right, and the history of DBW, go back all of those years. I mean, ego is one of the important cornerstones. So it's almost like, in a way, like how I don't want to compare it and to go that far, but some people are gonna like what John Cena did. Some people aren't gonna like what John Cena did, and what I always see you with ego. You're always synonymous with the group. So in a way, you and Hanson together, it just wasn't right. Really, to me, when I think
See,
of ego, it's you, Roland, and Colin. So whether it's different members that have come in and out recently, or you going with Hanson, I think really it's back to basics this season, don't you think?
yeah, it's back to the same old, but it's a different type of ego now
Well, Ace
because we
Christian's
got.
not in the group anymore. I mean, certainly Roland had plenty to say about him, understandably. So
Oh
you've
yeah,
got your history
because
with
I
him.
you see, I never liked him to begin with. I just played along with it because I would. That's what the big dog wanted. That's what the Warhound wanted. He wanted him in the group. That's cool. But I never liked it because of what happened with Damien Fatel. When Damien Fatel came in, he tried to ruin it. No.
But
I'm,
doesn't that tell you that ego should real? And I know there's been different members that have come in and out the last few years, but Austin, doesn't that tell you that ego should just be you, Roland, and Colin, and that's
yes,
it?
yes. I
It's
feel
like
like
think
that
about DX, right?
right now,
DX. with
Ego is
DX.
perfect just with us
But
three.
think about groups, right? You go back to the basics, right? DX really was Triple H and Shawn Michaels. You think about the
Shot my
NWO, it was Nash, Hogan, and Hall, right? And Ego, right? To really just be you, Roland, and Collins. So all these different members the last few years that have been in and out. And again, I'm not here to, knock any of them. It just wasn't right because it's really just the three of you that have been at the core of this group's success. So that's why I think you guys, in a way, are going back to basics and have unfinished business. And there's a lot of unfinished business because you guys have been, chasing the World Heavyweight Championship. You guys have all been chasing singles gold. Colin and Brandon had hell of a matches.
they.
I mean,
Ooh,
Roland's now the number one contender. And I think now it's time for you guys to have all singles gold in some ways.
yes, sir. Because it's a mission at this point to prove why we're the best faction in underground history in DBW. And in order to do that, we all have to proclaim our spot at the top.
And that's no question. There's no question that you guys are going to be there at the top. And we're going to certainly talk a
We
lot
done did
about
it
that.
twice, but
Well, I mean, why not third time's a charm? Third time's a charm. Third
amen.
time's a charm. You know, I'll put up the footage in a few minutes. I do want to get your thoughts on Brandon and Roland because they had quite a few battles over the
Yeah.
past season or so. But I've been asking this recently to people. In 2025, what are your goals this year in wrestling? Could be DBW, could be anything. What are some of your goals?
My goal this year,
Yeah.
DBW, dog walk Silas Walker, show him why I am who I am, become the prince of DBW, the prince of the global, and then go on the EBW Pro and get my IR championship. That something that was robbed from me. Because we all know Montana's ducking me at this point. Look at the challenges he had.
Yeah, that goes back a while now. You and the infamous Montana, who I infamously need to get back on Sportswire. I'm sure
But
we can
and
work on
then
that.
after that, go to wherever my name's set at this
Well, I
point.
think, you and I think, and I don't think I should speak for Rad, but I think I will at least say I'm sure Rad would love to see you back in
Oh,
GTS, as a lot of people
GTS,
would.
don't worry, we'll be back in due time. GTS
Yeah,
in
don't
due
go to
time.
GTS now. It's cold outside. You don't want to wrestle in the cold. Well, no, we're
Uh,
almost. I kind of
I,
think we're almost
hey,
out of it.
I'll wrestle in the cold, the rain, hail, thunderstorm, doesn't matter.
Well, I
I
think.
love
Well,
wrestling.
I don't think I'd want to wrestle in today's weather. I think rain, rain kind of adds some intriguing parts of it. But okay, so I think those goals make sense. Let me put the footage up here from Mr. Walker and yourself. I do want to
Yeah,
bring that up and get your reactions to that. And if you're
yeah,
here
please
on
do.
Sportswire, yeah, well, you will. I will. And and if you are here on Sportswire Radio, I thank you very much for tuning in. And we are here on Sportswire Radio. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. And we are here with the one and only Mr. Austin James of DBW. And we got the footage here right now. In fact, let me pull it up. I actually did it very quick because why? Because, well, I just have a way of doing those things. So let me take this on the screen. Let me take this off and go like that. Well, you figure out where you are and maybe get more enraged about Mr. Silas Walker. But
Nah, the
here,
trash in my bag.
well, you
I'm
could do that
good.
too. But obviously, okay, yep, that's I actually had it and then it went up. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay, so
Yes,
I got
sir.
it right here. And I think you're about to come out, and
Yeah.
there you go. And you remember this?
Yep. I remember that like it was yesterday.
Well, it feels like yesterday.
And
Wow. I
look,
mean, so
you can
yeah,
see
you
me
come
get
in.
in that ring and walk straight to his face. I was looking at him man to man. He tucked tailed and ran because he knew that he has never faced somebody like me and he has to prepare for the fight of his life.
Well, he hasn't faced somebody like you in this run as global champion. He hasn't faced somebody in yourself when it comes to what his ring abilities are versus yours. So there's no question that this would be a tough challenge for him. It probably would be his toughest challenge. It wouldn't be guys getting moved up to the front of the line to get a title shot,
Yeah.
as Mr. Walker claims. And Mr. Walker's not even here tonight. I mean, do you think maybe that's a sign that Mr. Walker doesn't want to talk to you? And there's Mr. Gaynor. Mr. Gaynor is obviously
Yep.
cheering you on. And I mean, does that though buy into what Mr. Walker has been saying about nepotism and such? Anything at all on that, or
Look,
what?
Silas can think what he wants.
Well,
Okay.
he is. He's definitely done that quite a bit on Sportswire.
Because honestly, Gainer is a standout man. Uh, Ever since he became GM, DBW has been feeling great. Felt like in a place where everybody wants to be at. So I don't
Mhm.
see why he has a problem with him and this whole nepotism stuff. It's a business.
It's a business. It's a business. But if he were to still say that you getting a title shot singles wise, or even the last few months in DBW, did you warrant a shot at his title? That's what he's going to say. I know he's going to say that. He's going to say that almost verbatim. What would you say to that as a response?
Look, another time, yeah, I want a shot at your championship because it's a championship that I've been chasing since day one. Yes, I have set records with the tag team championships, but that was not my only goal. My goal was that global championship because I feel like if I can get my hands on that global championship, I can solidify what that championship used to be, and that's the championship of DBW.
Well, I
Because
mean,
I
you're
see
here
that as a,
again and
like
you,
you
you come
said,
out.
it's a that championship is the workhorse championship.
It is. I kind of think of it, and I said this when Silas was here last time and the time before that. It's to me like your version of the Intercontinental Championship. When you think about
And
the Global Championship and who's held that title, what they've done with it, there's no question to me this is the workhorse championship at DBW.
mhm. Yes, and Salah's done great with it, but he hasn't lived up to the expectations.
But he's been champion a long time, though. I mean, he's held the title for
Yes,
going on a year. So you would say he
I
hasn't
give him
lived up
that
to expectations. What do you mean by that? I'm fascinated.
because the global championship is a prestigious championship. It's supposed to be defended with honor and prestige, and he took
Right.
that championship and used it as like what a demotion, as we could say, because he's doing it the wrong way. He's not being a man about it. He has to cheat to win. He got to claim that people, oh, it's some nepotism. No, it's people who earn shots,
But
people
Chase
who deserve
Wakefield
them.
hasn't won a match in ages. I mean, he might be doing good at
Yeah, but
getting himself views
Chase
on
Wakefield is
Sportswire.
also Chase Wakefield is also a former DBW World Champ, Tag Team Champion. Like Chase Wakefield has a record.
I agree with you on that. No question. Listen, Chase Wakefield is trying to get the record for most views in Sports by Radio history. Yes, he does a lot of things, but I mean, his record this past season didn't necessarily say global championship. Now, the history between those two speaks volumes. Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah,
The back of the baseball card's
but
fantastic, but what Mr. Walker has done is he's winning in the record books. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's who wins and loses, and he's been winning as global champion. He's been winning at almost as good a ratio as anybody in this past year in DBW, and that's what the record books say. What's your thoughts on that?
yeah, that'd be the same as why am I getting a shot at the global champion? Look at the track record I had last year. See,
True.
it's not about wins and losses. It's about who's going to go out there and give it their all each and every day of the week to do what they do for what they love. And I love DBW. And I'm going to bring prestige back to that global championship. Trust me.
What would it mean to you to be the DBW global champion? Let's say unfinished business, you get a shot at it and you win it. What would it mean to you, Austin James, to be the DBW global champion?
It mean a lot to me, honestly. Because I feel like that championship will really solidify that I am the prince of DBW, that I am who I say I am. Because I've been saying this since day one that Eagles the best, and we're here to prove that we're the best. And everything I have said has came true. Me and Colin Graves, we're the best tag team in the whole DBW universe.
The
What
history books
happened?
speak for
Went
itself.
on. What happened? We
The
went on.
history
Win
books.
the
Yep.
DBW Tag Team Championship. 510 days.
Yep.
And then went on where Rowan Havoc winning the World Extreme Championship. See?
World Extreme Champion. I mean, he arguably is the greatest World Extreme Champion of all time. I mean, that's something we talked about here many times. There's no question what you guys
But
have done as a group, whether it's as a team or individually. I
yeah, but
mean,
let's
that's
give it
what.
up for Sammy. Sammy's doing incredible with that championship right now. Sammy Nutton has done remarkable stuff.
Well, not to put you in the middle of that, but I mean, when the heartless sheriff, Mr. Colton Lee, was here on Sportswire, he was the last DBW segment. He had his eyes set on that championship. I mean, what do you think there?
Look, I mean, I'm actually like shocked at Big Tex. Like I'm actually like shocked he's going to it this way. But actually, I think it's the thing he needed. I think he needed that little pet.
Okay, well, we'll have to find out. And, Mr. Walker is here. Now, I want to give Mr. Walker the opportunity to
Yes,
say something to you, only if you would allow me to. I
yes, go
just
ahead.
went through a match with Mr. Wakefield, and I didn't feel like getting involved in an unscheduled fight. I don't get paid to do that. Gainer can eat rocks. So can you. Your response. And Mr. James,
Yes,
did we lose
I'm
Mr.
still, no,
There we
no,
go. Yeah.
I'm right here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we lost you there for a minute. So, again, I'll
Dana
repeat it.
can eat rocks, and so
Yeah.
can you.
So what's your thoughts on these comments?
See, I wasn't there to fight you. I was actually there to look you in the eyes like a man and tell you that I'm coming for that championship. I wasn't gonna fight you because I want you at your best. So there's no excuses for when I dog walk you and beat you for that championship. There will be no excuses on why I am the next global championship.
Hmm.
So if you tell me I can eat rocks, man, so be it. I don't care about your opinions. I care about the DBW universe.
The DBW universe would be on your side. Mr. Walker, though, doesn't pay attention to the DBW universe. He just pays attention to what he needs to do to win.
He can do that because I already know that I can beat him. He ain't nothing to me. He's not on my level, Tom.
Well,
I'm
well,
stronger, a lot faster, and a lot hungrier than I used to be, Tom. He is. He don't know what's coming to him at unfinished business.
well, I'm very excited about that, by the way. And if you want to go out and watch Unfinished Business and all prior content from DBW, that's their YouTube page. I'm going to put up the merchandise link up also on the new Instagram page as well shortly, and I'll talk about that. But it's a big next few months for Ego because, as I'm sure you're aware of, we alluded to it briefly that Roland Havoc is going to get a shot at a championship once again that's eluded him in his illustrious career and especially in DBW. And that's that World Heavyweight Championship, which is
Oh
held by the
yeah,
one and only Brandon Castelli. Now, what's your thoughts on that? I mean, Havoc and Castelli had, a memorable match for the World
yes.
Extreme title. And, certainly those two guys
Honestly,
have a lot of similarities. What's your thoughts on that situation coming up
this
next
might
month?
break headline. This honestly might break headlines, but I'm torn.
You torn? Really?
I'm
You? No. How
I'm
could
torn.
Roland's gonna hear that. How could you say you're
Yeah,
torn?
like cause like we all know Brandon is on another level right now, and so is Havoc. They're both at the top of the game, and it's literally beast versus beast because the only person to beat Mr. Judgment out of that
Brandon.
whole
My
lane
Brandon
is
did it multiple
Brandon.
times. Listen, Brandon, he finally broke through. He broke through the glass
And
ceiling and,
I know Havoc's gonna hear this, but he knows where I'm gonna get at with Brandon Castelli because with all credit due, Brandon is that guy. Brandon is the guy of BBW.
Mm.
He's talented. He got he got the moves. He got everything. Like
He
Brandon
does,
is just
but
that guy.
Roland's got the experience, though. Roland has beaten
Yes,
Brandon in the past, and that's going to be something
but
that he's going to hope carries him. Don't you think?
at the end of yes, yes, Havoc got the experience, the longevity, all that. You can name it, and right there, as they're talking on the
Well, how about this?
Mr. Judgment Professional.
Austin, what a trio, right? You got Judgment,
I
Roland,
know.
and Brandon. Maybe we shouldn't give
See,
those guys any ideas. What did you think about Mr.
yeah,
Judgment wanting to be a member of Ego possibly down the line? I'm sure you heard that last week.
man. See, like I said, I would believe Ego would be best just with us three because of the recent track records.
Well, I mean,
See,
yeah, Mr. Judgment and
if the
Ego would
big
be.
dog, if
Yeah.
the big dog wants it, I can't do nothing about it. That's what the big dog wants.
But I know that Judgment and Brandon had some of the most intense and physical matches I'm gonna say any world champion has had in this circuit. No question about it. But I feel like Brandon and Roland, it might be even more physical. It might even be more intense because of what these men
What's on
did
the
to each.
line?
Yeah, and what's on the line and what they did to each other for the World Extreme title. I mean, because think about it like this. Roland
But
talked about what it would mean to him to finally win the big one that's eluded him. But also in his career, Roland's had an illustrious career, but you almost have to wonder, is it now or never for Roland Havoc? Is this his best shot to finally win the big one? That's why I think this match might be as intensive any as we're going to see for a world championship, and especially the DBW title. What's your thoughts on that?
honestly, I haven't been chasing this, and I believe he could do it. So at the end of the day, if I'm torn or not, I'm still gonna rock with Havoc. Havoc's my guy. I loved him since day one. He made me who I am.
Oh,
So I,
he's meant so much. He's a locker room leader. He's a beloved figure. I mean, you might even say that this match at Unfinished Business, whenever it comes, go to the DBW YouTube page, that it very well could be the match to decide who's the most beloved figure in DBW history. Think about it. I mean, you were a part of it when Brandon finally beat Judgment. You were one of the guys that came out there. There were guys that just came out of the locker room and you felt how different it was and what it meant to see Brandon win it finally. You were there. You were right there,
yeah.
right in that ring. But this match could decide just very well who would be the most beloved figure in DBW history. It's possible.
hmm Like it really is. This match is gonna be the match of the night because it's gonna determine who is the face of DBW.
And who's the face of DBW for this season coming up, and that's what makes it so interesting. And by the way, let's give a plug because if you want to watch Mr. Judgment on the DBW
hmm
YouTube page, you can do that now every Wednesday night, right around 9 o'clock Eastern time,
Yes.
right here on this link. Go to the DBW YouTube page. You can also go on where it says live. There'll be a button where you see videos and live. Go on the live button. Please go out there and watch. You might even see Austin James. You might even see Silas Walker. You might see a slew of your other favorites in DBW. So go out there and watch it. Trust me, you will not want to miss this one. Mr. Judgment returns to hosting streams again. He used to do it years ago on Facebook, and now he is the host of Purgatory, and it's the Judgment Confessions and all that great stuff. And let me get to some comments here. Let me take this off the screen so I can see your beautiful
Yeah.
face and let everybody say hi to you, which is always a good thing. Zilla's in the house. Zilla, of course, would like to say hello. How you doing, Zilla? There we go. Austin. Yep, he is here. My buddy Robbie Ryan, all the way from the land down under in Australia. How you doing there? Eddie Pizzo, of course, from Dooley.com, all the way in somewhere farther away. Would like to say how we doing. And who else we got here in the chat? We got the Nemesis Project with the eyes. I don't know what the Nemesis Project is for, but thank you for tuning in. My buddy, the Evil Angel Judas. I appreciate that, but I think we're small potatoes compared to Monday Night Raw. Anything good on Raw tonight, by the way? I actually don't have Netflix.
Right now, just a tag team championship match between the Viking Raiders and the Creed brothers.
Well,
Kind of stale.
ego would take both groups down, but
Yeah,
yeah, but
kind
there
of
we go.
stale.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much true. Aaron Blaze would like to give the horns there. How you doing, Aaron Blaze? Nice to see Aaron Blaze. Good to see him. Who else we got? Oh, DVG. We love DVG, of course, a man you've rocked with in multiple places. Looky here, yes,
Hey, what
sir.
up, DVG?
Love DVG. And Silas is going down. He is going down. He's going down. A lot of pressure there
Yep.
on you, though. Is there not a lot of pressure? First match show of the year, and it kind of sets the tone. I always say the first match is what people remember, the first impressions. Is there extra pressure on you because it's the first match, but it's also for a championship that you want badly?
To be honest, Tom, there's a lot of
Yeah.
pressure. I feel like there's a weight of the world on my back.
Yeah.
But that's how it is every time I'm in that ring. I feel like the world is on my shoulders because I am best for DBW. So anytime I step in that ring, I got a weight on my shoulder because I got an expectation to live up to.
Do you put that pressure on yourself, or is that pressure you feel that comes with what you've done in your career?
I put it on myself
Why?
because I feel like I could, because every time I go out there,
Yeah.
I need to show why I am the best. So every time I even go through a cutting, I have to flick that switch to prove to everyone why I am the best. I doubt myself every
Why
time
do you you know
just to
what
show everybody.
but you were listen, you were on GTS 7 months ago, whatever it was, and you still doubt yourself? Why?
Yes, because I feel like I can still because there's a lot I can still do, Tom. Like I'm only 26, about to be 27. I feel like there's still a lot of stuff I can learn. So I feel like I can still get better. I'm not where I need to be yet.
I think that's fair, and I think that as we're here with Austin James, the Prince of DBW, who will be in action coming up for DBW's return here. Stay tuned to the DBW YouTube page for more details coming up here. It's called Unfinished Business, and he'll
Yes,
be in
sir.
action for that DBW Global Championship against Silas Walker. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters here. But 27 is an age that they say that's where you start to go and into your prime. It's your prime of your life, right? So 27 is that age. So you're in a good age. I would say that the pressure is going to be off your shoulders because you're entering the best years of your life coming up here. You're entering the best of what you're going to do in the ring. And I mean, and what a way to kick off 27 soon. Go and compete for something you want so badly, a DBW Global Championship. And I mean, go up against a man that maybe he has met his match. I mean, we'll find out.
Yeah, like I said, Tom. When like at the end, I unfinished business. Win, lose or draw, I'm gonna show why I'm not just a tag wrestler. I'm gonna show why I am who I am, and that's the Prince. That I can stand out on my own. That I don't need a tag partner. I don't need a group. That I can do everything on my own.
But you guys as a group, though, have had different, I think, ideas and different goals over the past several months, right? I mean, Colin gave Brandon a run for his money for the world title. Roland has obviously held the world extreme title for a long time. He had his battles with Judgment this past year, and now he's going after Brandon once again for the world title. And now you're going to go after Silas for the global title. So I think as a group, you guys have different ideals. You guys will certainly stand on your own. I think people not only in DBW but also here on Sportswire, just fans of wrestling know that. They know that you guys stand on your own merits. I think people they got that. Well,
Well,
we'll find out.
clearly Silas didn't get the memo.
Well, Silas is Silas is Silas. I mean, he actually wanted to ruin Chase Wakefield's wedding. I'm going to ask you about that here.
Yeah.
Aaron Blaze heard headline. I mean, maybe you know something about that. I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't know what Aaron Blaze and DBW have anything to do with each other. Stay tuned, I suppose. But who knows? Silas is going to lose lose. I think lose with the double O. Well, I got the point. Hello, Zilla. Mr. Judgment's son, Ace Christian, is awesome, amazing, and cool. You don't know. You definitely don't agree with that. You do not agree with that, sir.
Nah, not one bit. Because you see, as it shows right there, Tom,
Yeah, I know.
what
I'll
he
put it back.
done.
I gotta take this off the screen because I think you didn't watch DPW a few months ago, but here we have it. Yep, Exhibit A, and
Yeah.
who? Yeah, well, he Zachary Depew. You'd have to ask now for it, but well, I'll
Well,
pretend
I'm
it.
actually happy for the few. That man busted his ass, and I'm
And by the
thank
way, he
God
beat
he got
Silas
the title
Walker,
off of
who
that.
also holds a victory over Silas Walker.
Exactly. So I might have to hit the pew up and see what his tactics are
I was
because
going to
hey,
ask you that. Maybe you have to ask Mr. Depew about advice on beating Mr. Walker.
but
Who knows?
speaking of Silas Walker, because I know how he likes to cheat though, I'm gonna
Yeah.
make sure he doesn't cheat because I'm gonna have some guys at ringside to make sure that doesn't happen.
Ooh. Oh well, you know what? Well, we'll see. We'll see. I wanted to ask you something on Ace Christian though that a lot of people were talking about. Ace showed up a couple weeks ago in the IMF. Finally, he wrestled there.
Hmm.
He's also the VTW champion, and Chase Wakefield spoke about it and said he was going to wrestle in IMF in September. I know other guys have messaged me off the air about it and gave their thoughts. I've heard a number of different things, but what was your opinion on Ace Christian going all the way out there in Iowa and wrestling and such? What did you
You
think
know what?
about
That's cool on him. You know, he's running from the big dog,
that? It's
so
a
it's
good
all
point
cool.
because he's focused elsewhere, but in DBW, his home company, he's got some problems.
Yeah, because
Good point.
if you guys watch Mr. Judgment's confessional, we all find out who did it and who was the
Yeah,
one that
yeah,
attacked
and you know
Rowan
what?
Havoc.
And it was Ace Christian who did what he did to Roland Havoc, and that's gotta. Listen, you. By the way, you thought that you were never happy about Ace being in the group, and you
No,
were
not one bit.
vindicated. You were
And
vindicated, by the
I,
way.
yeah, like because
Maybe I
like
should call you Mr. Judgment. Maybe I should call you the prophet of DBW instead of the prince.
no, 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 no. Don't, nah. There's only one prophet, and that's Mr. Judgment. You
Yeah,
see,
yeah, yeah. I know.
what I say, what I do, and what I say, I just speak the truth.
Well, you
I
know
can
what?
like
You're
you
a
can't
prophet.
bullshit like you can't bullshit a bullshit. Like I know what it does to take to be at that top of the game. Trust me, I was a bad guy long ago. Trust me, I know how the game's played.
Well, let me get to some more comments because I got a bunch of them here. Uh, let's see here. Unfinished business when business will be picking up. Interesting. I'll keep that in mind. I do want to give a shout out to a special lady out there that is watching, and I do want to say that I hope she's enjoying the show. I have no doubt that she is enjoying the show because she doesn't get to look at me. She gets to look at you, Austin James. It does. Nobody wants to see my mugshot. Nobody wants to see my mutton chops, but. I do want to say hello to somebody out there that a very beautiful individual that's watching the show, and I hope that she's having a beautiful day, and it always brightens our days when we get a chance to know that she's watching and listening to us right now on Sportswire Radio. Like I said, maybe I guess Rhino and Savio Vega and King's X Doug Pinnick, we can push them to the side and have this beautiful lady 24/7, 365 watch and listen to us. So I hope you're enjoying the show. And I hope you're having a beautiful evening, as beautiful as you are, as it is. But here in New York, it's a little cold, but she'll warm things up for us. Let's go to Mr. Walker, though. We'll come back to that beautiful lady. But I want to talk to Silas Walker, who won't have some beautiful things to say about you. I'm the most prepared wrestler in DBW. I will always have a plan since Merry Mayhem. I've been preparing for this match. That is true. And I'm actually going to back Mr. Walker on this. Let me tell you why I'm going to back him. Because I noticed Mr. Walker has been reading books from the likes of Jim Cornette. I've seen Mr. Walker reading books on the history of professional wrestling going back decades. This man is a true student of the game. So he's using things that some of the greatest minds in our sport have used to be successful. He's reading from them, he's learning from them, and he's going to use that to finish you and basically take whatever unfinished business is left and use you as yet another example as to why there's nepotism of DBW. This man is more prepared than anybody because he's learning from the very greatest.
If he's really the most prepared wrestler, then why did it take him this long to finally do something so relevant?
Um, well, he did pretty much forecast what Colton Lee happened to him. How about Jacob Cassidy? I mean, I'm not going to mention Robert Pearson to you at the moment. I mean, so really, Mr. Walker,
Uh,
I mean, he kind of, I think he has done some important things. I mean, and he seems to know what he's doing.
yeah,
Chase
he got
Wakefield, I mean, barely will have a wedding because Mr. Walker nearly ended his career.
look, and for that, for all that hurt that he called Big Tex, the hurt that he called Jacob Cassidy, the hurt that he called Chase Wakefield, I'ma give it tenfold.
Oh, really? So it wasn't right, especially the Wakefield thing, right? I mean that was
No,
definitely,
no, what he
some
did
would
to
say it
Chase
was clever,
Wakefield,
but you didn't think that
no,
was clever what Mr. Walker did right in that match, right?
no. Like
Mm.
I like see, you could have went about it a whole other way, but the way you went about it with Chase, I can't let that slide. Cause that man is about to get married. Like he's got a
Well,
future.
the woman listening to this on Sportswire, she should go to the wedding, and we go with me with it. But I don't even know if I'm going, but I'm sure that'll certainly have her change the channel. But well, Mr. Wakefield, he wants to be a married man, and Mr. Walker was, trying to give him some advice, I suppose, here on Sportswire. I'll get to some of his thoughts instead of my own. When it comes down to unfinished business, you'll see the best and most prepared version of the greatest global champion of all time.
And I want that. I want you at your best, Silas. I do. I'm begging you to be at your best. Because if you're lacking just just once, all it takes is one, two, three, and I'm the new DBW Global Champion. So please bring your best, because I want it. I want all of this, Silas.
Well, to quote Queen, you want it all, but Mr. Walker's the one at the moment that has it all. And Zilla's a big fan of Silas Walker, which makes you very mad. But on Instagram, if you're here, give Mr. James a follow and smoke to that. And let's get to some more comments. You should doubt yourself. By the way, he put that in caps. That nagging shoulder injury, by the way, which took you out of action for quite a while this past season. That's been plaguing you for most of your career. That's going to come into play. Now, do you think that Mr. Walker, you may be showing us that, but Mr. Walker has something that, well, he can target you on. What's your opinion of that?
Look, yeah, I have a nagging shoulder injury. Cool, but guess what, Silas? What you're failing to realize is my shoulder is almost completely healed now. You're not just getting a Austin James at 60% like he was last year. No, you're getting Austin James at almost 100%. I am stronger, faster, and better than ever was. So, Silas, I am down myself because I got a point to prove, and it starts with you. And then after I beat you, I'm gonna take that global champion to newer heights that you would never see.
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to certainly find out here. We'll
Yeah,
certainly
you're
get
gonna
back
find
to that.
out
Well,
because
we are going to
win,
find out.
lose, or
I'm
draw,
excited. It's about time DBW
win.
returns.
Cause I am aiming to win it. I'm aiming. I got all my chips in it. It's now or never for me.
I think it's now or never for the group. Roland with the DBW championship, Collins' future, I'm sure, is going to be a part of that, and yours. I think that it's now or never for all three of you. Don't you agree?
Cause I agree 100%. Cause if I lose this match, I don't know where I go from here.
Well, what do you mean by that? I mean, so do you
Because
envision a future?
I do, but I envision a future. But if I lose to Silas, would I ever be able to get another opportunity?
You go back to
This
the
is
line. I don't know. That's up to Stephen Gaynor. I mean, aren't you friends with
yeah.
Stephen Gaynor?
Man, they're gonna cool with business association, but what he choose to do is what he choose to do. I can't control who he picks and who he doesn't.
You go
So
back to the line. I mean, that's got to be tough to envision going all the way to the back of the line if you lose an unfinished business. I mean, starting at this point in your career, after what you accomplished, to be at the bottom almost. I mean,
yeah,
to
it's
start
like
from square
it's
one.
do or die for me, Tom. It's now or never.
It's like I was listening to an interview today with a guy, Vinny Appice, who played in
Okay.
Black Sabbath, Ronnie James Dio, and he was talking about Vivian Campbell, who's the guitarist of Def Leppard, and they played in a band together. And Def Leppard, whether you're a fan of the band or not, they're a band that plays in stadiums, and they were playing in a band together called The Last in Line, and literally they went from being well in stadiums to having the last few people in line to watch them at a club. And Austin James has left. Austin James has left. I hope his internet's going to come back with us, but maybe he hit the wrong button. But or maybe some of the things Silas Walker has said is hit him to a T. I don't know. But if you are here right now on Sportswire Radio, we are going to be back here coming up tomorrow night at about 10 o'clock Eastern time with Omen Black, who is celebrating. He'll be back. Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting us know that he'll be back. But if you are here right now, go give Austin a follow on Instagram and check out DBW on their YouTube page. And somebody said they're hyped for WWE 2K25. And there you go. You okay? I was like, what happened?
Yeah,
Did the questions get to you? Or everything good?
yeah, everything's good. I got a little flustered.
Well, don't get too flustered. We don't have too much more to go. But I mean, it would be hard to envision what the outcome would be if you don't win. So going to the back of the line,
Line,
that's
yeah,
difficult to envision if you don't win this unfinished business. I mean,
yeah,
that would be
because
a
if I
place in your career be difficult.
yeah, because I've been saying that I'm the prince that I'm the like I've been saying it since day one that I'm the best. And if I can't be Silas Walker, am I really the best? Can I really stand out on my own? Am I really just a tag wrestler? All that is on the line for me,
So
and
this
I
is
need to
more
show.
that this is really one of the biggest matches of your career because of what the alternative might be and such.
Yes, this
It's tough.
honestly is the biggest. It's the biggest match, and I give Silas credit. Like I said, I can't take credit away from where credit's due. But
Hmm.
I'm gonna show Silas that he need to put respect on my name.
Mm. Well, I did want to ask you. Obviously, Ego is going to be very busy coming up at the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational, and I'm sure the beautiful lady friend of
Yeah,
mine's watching this, and I'm sure she'll
honestly,
have a thought or two on that. But Collins in action against Zach Daniels, a man you know very
that's
well.
gonna be a banger.
And what'd you think? So, what do you think? And are you going to be there or what?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna be there. No doubts about it, Tom. I'm definitely gonna be there.
What do you think about Chase Wakefield having a wedding invitational? It could very well be the
You
biggest
know,
wrestling super show in history. I mean, what do you
honestly,
think about that?
I I think it's tremendous. For me, it's the first time for me to ever do something like this. So like, it's honestly could be historic all in together. Like with the views, everything.
And I hope that Chase
Like,
Wakefield will,
and
have
honestly,
live happily
I never
forever after.
seen I never seen a wrestling show better than done before. So
No,
this is
I
something
think
unique.
I think he said it himself. I think Rad Dad even mentioned. I think Rad mentioned, and he's been a part of some super shows that he hasn't seen this done before. That's why I think it's so unique. And Silas tried to ruin it, despite being on the show.
I
Silas
know,
tried
right?
to.
What a scumbag.
Well, I mean, Mr. Wakefield, I guess he'll be here Friday, and I'm sure talk about it. And I mean, I'm sure you're rooting against, Mr. Walker, even though he's with Brandon. And I mean, I'm sure you're rooting against the Dawn's March in a way because you love Brandon, but you don't love
Shit.
Silas. That's a tough
Yeah,
one.
yeah, that is a tough one because I love Brandon, but I hate Silas.
Well, Andrew Lovelace, D'Lo Smith, and Nikki Chuch are an interesting team. I don't know how they're going to
Yeah,
get along. I don't know how they're
I
going to
like
get.
Nikki. I like Nikki Chooch.
I think Nikki. I got to be honest with you. Nikki Chooch is one of my favorite guests of the calendar year. Yes, I know people are going to say you've had Rhino, Savio Vega, King's X, Doug Pinnick, but in terms of just like his gimmick, I think right now what he's doing in underground wrestling and independent wrestling, I think he's one of the most enjoyable, you know, like entertaining figures I think out there. I mean, I think it's going to be an intriguing match. I mean, but then again, if you have your way, sir, I mean, Mister Walker may not make it to the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational, and
I,
maybe Chase would be happy about that. I suppose.
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do what I need to do, and I'm gonna do it for Jacob Cassidy. I'm gonna do it for Chase Wakefield. I'm gonna do it for Big Tex, even though he's doing stuff the
Well,
wrong
Big
way. But
Tex went to the dark side. He's a heartless sheriff, though. Now, I mean, I don't want to
yeah,
take anything
I
away from
get
that.
like yeah, but I'm gonna do everything that I can for everybody to make sure he doesn't leave that ring. DBW Global Champion.
Well, he wants to be the greatest DBW Global Champion of all time. So, well,
Yeah,
that's
and
the
in
thing.
order for him to do that,
Got to beat you.
he has to get by me.
He's got to beat you. No, I agree with you on that. And it's going to be a tall task for him. It's going to definitely be a tall task for him. We're going to definitely find out. And if you want to follow the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational, you can actually do that here. And you can do that here on Instagram. And I'm going to put the Instagram link up here so people can check it out if you'd like to follow. And
Yeah.
Chase will be here Friday. I'm going to bring you up, by the way. I'm going to bring you up, Mr. James, and say, when is Austin James getting a match on there? I'm going to make sure Chase gets peppered for that because Colin's been announced and you got to be announced for something. And I'm sure Chase is going to certainly hear it and we'll make sure he hears it. But
Uh,
well, we'll have to see.
maybe something's cooking. You know, who knows? I may have been in contact with Chase here and there. Maybe I know. Maybe you don't. Maybe we got something in line. Maybe.
Well, you know what? We'll have to find out. I mean, I'll tell you what, we'll certainly find out. And let me ask you, though, if you had any final words for Silas Walker ahead of unfinished business, what would they be?
Silas, I know you're listening. Come on, finish the business. I'm gonna give you 110%. I'm gonna give you something you never seen before. I'm gonna go in there and literally throw you from post to post. I'm gonna show you why I am who I am. I'm not the same Austin James. You say this nagging shoulder injury. Uh, I feel like it's no, not now. So come, win, lose or draw, Silas. I'm taking your ass down.
Well, I'll tell you what, talking to me, it's all going to come to a halt here very soon because
Yeah.
DBW season is going to kick off in a matter of weeks. And one of the biggest matches out there is going to be for that global championship. Austin James, the Prince of DBW, against the legendary Silas Walker, a man that's been on a run like we haven't seen before. He is the workhorse champion. He is the measuring stick of DBW. He might even be the measuring stick right now in this circuit. And listen, I have been talking about Silas as a guy that Rad should face. And you know Rad. You know
Yes.
Rad. And I think that's where, listen, I mean, if you beat Silas, then maybe Silas shouldn't get that match with Rad. Maybe you should get that match with Rad. And
Yeah.
Rad's coming back on Sportswire next month. So maybe in a way,
Maybe.
I mean, Silas can't be legendary and be one of these greats that, Rad
I
Dad gets
know.
a shot with unless he beats you. And you know Rad. You've been in a locker room with him.
Exactly. And like I said, how is Silas Walker legendary? I get it. He's on the run of his life, but what is legendary about it?
Well, I mean, he's been the global champion for almost a year. And I think in wrestling to be champion, you know that you've held the tag team championships for over almost a year and a half. You know how difficult that is. You know how hard it
I
is to be a
know.
champion for almost a year. And he's coming up now, and Silas will tell me he's coming up on I think 10 months as champion. And for him to get to a year, he's got to get past you. That's going to be a tall order, no question about that. And yeah, you could be the next global champion. There is most certainly, a very
Yeah,
strong
I could.
possibility of it.
Yeah, exactly. I could be. But like I said, Tom, win, lose, or draw, I'm making sure he knows to put respect on my name.
Oh, I think that he certainly got the message tonight. And before I get to closing thoughts here, I mean, how excited are you for DBW to return? How excited for you for this season that are you
I'm
for it?
so I'm so excited, Tom. Like, dude, I've been missing DBW for so long now, and I've been
Me too.
we had my shoulder for so long just to make sure I'm ready.
Hmm.
I
How do you
might have
feel right
not
now?
been
You
doing
said you
the
said you
I
feel
might not
almost
been
100%.
yeah, I almost feel 100%. And yes, I might not be doing the right rehab, but I've been doing something that works for me.
Hmm.
So
Well, we'll find out. I'll tell you what. We most certainly will find out, and we'll certainly be excited. And also, again, Mr. Judgment's confessionals will take place Wednesday nights around 9 o'clock Eastern time. And who knows, you might see the Prince of DBW, Austin James, on there. You might see Colin Graves. You might see who knows whoever else. Which is why you have to tune in on the DBW YouTube page. And also, we got to plug the brand new DBW Instagram page on here. DBW's got an
yes, sir.
Instagram page. Finally, it's long overdue. You have to follow DBW's Instagram
Yeah,
page. Yep,
make
you
sure you
have to.
guys follow that. Stay up to date
Yep.
with all the news on DBW.
Hell
See
yes.
highlight reels when the next shows.
We're almost there. We're almost right around the corner. I mean, it's about time. It's about freaking time DBW comes back. And also, we'll put the merchandise link up here as we get to closing thoughts. And is there anything else that you want to say before closing thoughts? Anything that we should know or you want to say before we get ready to sign off and such?
Well, first things first, I want to congratulate Ron Havoc on winning Superstar of the Year.
Big
Congratulate
accomplishment.
Zach.
Absolutely. Congrats to Roland.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Congratulations to Zach the Pew on winning the I can't remember what it was.
So
There was so many awards in CBW, but congratulations to him. Congratulations to the Prodigies for winning Tag Team of the Year.
oh my God, the Prodigies were here on Sportswire. With they're just killing it. VTW they were just
Yeah,
in. I mean, they're just everywhere. The FBI they're wrestling now. Next coming up. I mean, they're just the Prodigies. It'll get screwy if you don't shout them out.
congratulations to Brandon and Mr. Judgment on winning Match of the Year. That was one
Yep.
hell of a match.
Oh my God, you could have put both their matches as match of the year if you think about it.
And congratulations to That's Not Nose Punk Ace Christian for Turn of the Year.
Well, he's it's very kind of you to
Can't,
congratulate him. It was nice, gentlemanly of you. That's very gentlemanlike of you. It was
mm,
kind of you. You didn't have to do that.
yeah, I didn't have to, but that's just who I am because I give respect.
Well,
I
that's
am built
nice of
off
you.
of
Well, you
respect.
know what? Maybe you'll get it back, and maybe it'll, be a
Oh,
sign of
I know
wrestling.
I ain't getting it back with Ace Christian. Ace Christian is just not nose little punk.
No,
He's a
not
little.
with Ace Christian, but maybe the wrestling gods you'll get it back with, and maybe that'll help you and looking to get a big victory here and win the DBW Global Championship. I mean, I'm just
Yeah,
saying. I mean, so that's just what it'll be, and it's definitely always exciting to have you here and talk and just get ready for the season. It's been a while since we've talked DBW on Sportswire, and I think you're the man to get us ready for it. And I can't wait to see what's ahead. And let me pass the baton to you. Let me give you some closing thoughts. While I do that, I'm going to put up the DBW merchandise link so people can
yes.
go check out DBW's merchandise because you got to buy some merchandise. I have my DBW shirt, but you should get it too. And maybe even get some Ego merchandise. That would help. And I will pass the baton off to you shortly. And the floor is yours, my friend, and take it away.
So for everybody watching, thank you guys for watching. Silas, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Trust and believe that. And make sure you guys go buy some new shirts. There's some
Yes,
new
a
shirts that
lot
we
of new
gonna drop,
merchandise is up. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
and stay tuned because I got some merch and
And
something
don't
deep
buy
coming.
yeah, I know you're not buying the Silas Walker shirt, by the way. I know you're not buying it.
No, if I buy one, I'm gonna burn it.
Well, maybe it's bonfire. Get it, bonfire. But
Yeah,
who knows? Who knows? But you get Roland Havoc. You can buy a Roland Havoc shirt. You can buy a DBW hoodie while you have time. You can certainly buy a Brooklyn Prodigy shirt. Things will get
Apologies.
stewy. Love the
Man,
Prodigies. There's Roland, and
there's
we're gonna
Roland.
get to Ego. We're gonna get to Ego in a minute. I got to get all the way
Jacob.
down to the bottom.
Yep, there's Big Tex.
The Ego. There
There's
we go. I was
Ego.
looking for it. There we go. That'll come in handy. I did like your red one, by the way. The red one looked good, by the way. Your red
Yes.
shirt looked very good. The red
Thank
shirt
you.
was good.
I think
I
the
thought it
red
looked
one.
good. You
I like
looked
it
good
too.
in the red shirt. The lady watching this here is gonna say, "Tom, what's wrong with you?" But no, I was just saying the shirt did look good in red. But there you go. There it is in red. But
Yeah.
get merchandise. You should do it and support those. And it's very important to buy merchandise because it actually supports the wrestlers and the companies that we support. So all the proceeds and much of it helps them, and we want to support those who support us. And DBW has been a great friend to us here on Sportswire for a year and a half, and I'm so happy for DBW. Almost at 4,000 subs. So if you're here tonight, do me a favor, hit that sub button for DBW. We're almost at 4,000 subs. We're going to get there very soon, but if you can,
And
just go up
turn
there.
on that bell. Make sure you turn on that bell so you stay up to date with all Sports
Yes.
Fire Radio news.
Well, yeah, there's we were in the mainstream news. I still can't believe it. We were in the heavy metal version of Rolling Stone, and I think this week I have an even bigger guest coming on. I'm just gonna keep a lid on it until you see it Wednesday. It'll pop up, and it's a really big one. But I was so excited though to have you back. That's what counts. I'm looking forward to more DBW guys on here. Silas, I know is gonna have his take, and I'm sure we'll get most of the locker room back as always. And my friend. Thank you for all you do for our sport. Thank you for everything. And boy, I cannot wait to watch you and Silas Walker at Unfinished Business. I am sure that the entire card, we're going to see the Prodigies on there. We're going to see Judgment. We're going to see Castelli. We're going to see Ace. We're going to see so many of your favorites. Obviously, we're going to see Colin. We're going to see Zachary Depew. We're going to see Sammy Nothing. I mean, just Jay Luther, Jacob Cassidy. Yes, even Colton Lee, and I just can't wait for it. And my friend, and it's good to see you. Can't wait to watch this match. And thank you for all you do for our sport. And we'll see you soon. And enjoy the rest of Raw.
Thank you.
All right, that was the Prince of DBW, Austin James. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. If you're on Sportswire Radio, I'll be back here tomorrow night with Omen Black. I'll be here tomorrow with him. And Wednesday, stay tuned. Wednesday will be pretty big. And also stay tuned to all of DBW shows, especially Wednesday, 9 o'clock. It'll be the second episode of the Mr. Judgment Confessionals. You will not want to miss that. Heck of a show. The first one was. Just wait until the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, and sub to DBW so you can get the notifications. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global radio station, that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters. Thank you so much, everybody. And DBW, 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 DBW Universe, thank you as always. Can't wait to see DBW soon. We got plenty of unfinished business in Austin. Can't wait, man. I'm so excited. I'm counting the days already. Forget about WrestleMania. I'm waiting for DBW to return. You might be focused on Raw. I don't have Netflix. I'm waiting for DBW. I'm not watching
I'm waiting for DBW too, my brother.
Good enough. Good deal. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow and have a great night. And DBW, please hit the sub button for them. Thanks. Have a